2025. Mention the date for historical reference, and in case you watch this in the future. And we'll talk again about the Trump catastrophe with his unilateral ceasefire imposed on Israel and Iran and the United States, and why it is a catastrophe, a disaster of apocalyptic proportions. The initial bomb damage assessment that's been released by the Pentagon, by U.S. sources, by Israeli sources, by pretty much every source, even the Iranians, but you can ignore that, indicate that the B-2s that dropped the MOPs on the 3 nuclear sites that the U.S. bombed, namely at Natanz, at Isfahan, and near Qom at Fordo. Those 14 bombs that they dropped on those 3 sites, at best, might have delayed Iran's nuclear ambitions and plans and work by months. What did I tell you this morning in my live stream before this was public? I told you by the end of the year, they will have rebuilt a lot. And by the end of next year, probably most of their capability. And then there's other people coming on, so-called experts who've been in this field far less time than me. But maybe because they wear a suit and tie, you listen to them more than me because they appear on some network show. That's your call. I've been in this for decades and decades, and I know this field extremely well. One day, if you want, I can do a stream about my credentials, but I don't really care about that right now. The bomb damage assessment is that they have been sent back months. And the critics will say, no, that's not true. The Iranians can't just get on and rebuild right away because they know they're under supervision from the Mossad and the CIA, and they know they're being watched, and any violation will mean more repercussions. No, violations will not mean more repercussions. Trump has already shown he's a transactional president. All he wants is a big deal for his little Nobel Peace Prize hunt. He doesn't care if the Iranians violate any agreements. He doesn't care. As long as he gets to say, look, I made peace, which is complete BS. He hasn't made peace. There's no peace with America and Iran. The Iranian dictatorship still wants to overthrow the Iranian dictatorship still wants to overthrow and genocide the American population. Unless you believe in their death cult, unless you are literally a member of their death cult, they want to genocide you. They want to Holocaust you. You don't have to believe me. It's what they say. Go look it up. Go learn a thing. Go watch what the Ayatollah himself says every Friday when he calls people to prayer. Go watch what Khomeini says in public every single time he calls people to prayer. And every single time he calls people to a political rally. And you can say, well, those are all staged. Yeah, exactly. They're all staged. And that's what people do. They do what they're told by their dictator. I'm not saying the Iranian people want to genocide you, but the dictatorship does. And the people who follow the dictatorship and support it, they want to also. They want to really support it, which reportedly is anywhere from 20 to 30% of the population. Maybe it's slightly less, maybe it's slightly more. Doesn't really matter. It's still millions of people. There's this dog who likes to talk to me. He's always barking. He's very cute. Little black dog. So anyway, no, the Iranian regime is not making peace with America, even if they sign a piece of paper. And yes, the initial bomb damage assessment, you can say, should be scrutinized, and we need further scrutiny of that information because we can't just believe what they say at first take. That's fine. Yes, you can't believe what they just say at first take. Yes, they're likely to be lying to some degree. No doubt about it. That doesn't mean that the initial bomb damage assessment is completely invalid, though. The people that are looking at that information look at that kind of information on a regular basis about all kinds of things. They don't just look at current information. They look at a lot of historical archival information, and they compare information all the time. They practice this. They study this. This is their work. Okay? They look at all kinds of BDA. They review old BDA. Why? In order to sharpen their skills. in order to discover more things about the initial BDA and the second, and third, and fourth, and fifth, and auxiliary BDAs that they never discovered before. Right? These are experts in the field of BDA. They look at practice, like practice explosions in training fields to do bomb damage assessment. That's how they learn new things all the time. When they're making new weapons, when they're testing new weapons, when they're testing existing weapons, when they're testing even old weapons. They're always looking at this stuff. It's not like they look at it, only when America attacks some country. No, they do bomb damage assessment on a regular basis, just like soldiers train on a regular basis. The soldiers that do the bomb damage assessment also train on a regular basis, looking at information that's fresh and current as well as archival. So they know what they're talking about. And by the way, there's plenty of active BDA to be done because American BDA experts look at other wars happening and they do bomb damage assessment about that. You think when Israel bombs someplace in Gaza or when Hamas attacks someplace in Israel that they don't look at bomb damage assessment on the United States? They do. Why? So they can learn. That's how they learn about urban warfare. That's how they learn about the impact of certain types of bombs in certain areas. We think they just randomly guess, because the company that makes this bomb said that it only does this kind of damage, it means that's all it does. No, they look at BDA. They make BDA, right? Updated, current, always fresh. Why? Because there's tons of information to constantly go over. That's how they hone their skills. They don't only look at things that American forces do. They look at things that allies do. They look at things that foes do. They look at all kinds of information, and including training, like I said, and including new developments, and you name it, and archival stuff, historical stuff. So again, the initial BDA, which is done by BDA experts, suggests the bombing of these 3 sites delayed Iran's nuclear ambitions by a few months, maybe until the end of the year. Just like I told you. I literally told you that this morning, before the BDA expert released their initial findings. I told you that in my live stream. Go watch it. Don't believe me. If you weren't there, if you didn't see it. By the way, if you want to see it, you know what to do, right? Click the subscribe button and the notification bell and click all so you get the notifications of when I do new live streams or videos. And if you can like it and leave a comment and share it, fantastic. If not, that's fine too. Just thank you for watching this. So again, initial BDA suggests it'll only be delayed by a few months. What does that mean? That means, just like I said yesterday in my article in the Times of Israel, this means more violence. I said it on Twitter or whatever, X. This means more violence because by containing this to a stupid ceasefire, by restricting the Iranian people from doing an uprising against the dictatorship, by allowing the dictatorship to stay in place, you're guaranteeing that they will not only restart their nuclear ambitions at double speed, and they've said they're going to. They've literally said they are going to. Well, it means that there's going to be more violence. That's what it means. It means that the Iranian regime is going to fund more attacks by Hamas than the Houthis and Hezbollah. It means that they are going to double time their nuclear ambitions. It means that they're going to pose more of a threat to Europe and the region and the United States and the rest of the world. They're going to launch more attacks remotely through proxies and individuals and lone wolves and all that stuff that they will fund and encourage and brainwash and arm and train and supply and all this other crap. They will do this. They've said as much. And that's why Trump's ceasefire is a catastrophe. And the bomb damage assessment that shows that it delayed them by months shows that I was right when I said it would have been better to not bomb them and let Israel do its thing and the people overthrow it. And then if Trump wants to have his little victory lap afterwards, they could have allowed him to have some kind of a victory lap. I don't know what. They could have let him do something. I don't know. Some show of force. Drop a bomb on the Iranian parliament building. Who knows? Something stupid, meaningless and symbolic. Okay? But no. They let him bomb these 3 key nuclear facilities, which, yes, because the fact that the Iranian regime is still in place, at least it delays them by some months. But had he not bombed them, the actual regime could have been overthrown. And now he's given them a lifeline. He's allowing them to sell oil and gas to China against his own sanctions. He's literally thrown the people of Iran under the bus. They will now be oppressed more than before. They will now be tortured, beaten, disappeared, killed more than before. They will now be imprisoned and done cruel things to more than before. They will suffer more than before. Because he had to have his little victory lap so he could try to get his Nobel Peace Prize. It's pathetic. He's a clown, okay? Yes, does he do good things sometimes? Yes, he does. Does he also do really dumb things sometimes? Yes, he does. I don't think he's actually an idiot. I really don't. I think he knows what he's doing in a lot of cases, but he is very clownish, and then he's not a serious person because he'll say one thing 1 second and another the next second. Just last week, he said he went from unconditional surrender to ceasefire to congratulations, Iran, to great Iran, good luck, to Israel, I'm more mad at than Iran, to Iran's going to be able to sell oil and gas to the Chinese now. What? He behaves like a madman. I don't care if you like him or not. I don't care if you recognize that he does some good things and does some bad things like every other person, okay? But he behaves like a clown. You don't have to like him or hate him to say that. He's not a serious person, okay? He may not be an actual idiot, but he's not a serious person. He doesn't have a moral compass that says, I will do this and I will not do that. No, it's purely transactional with him. As long as it enriches him or is in his interests, he does not care what the outcome is. He does not care. He does not care if he stabs Israel in the back in order to aggrandize his ego to have what he thinks is a better shot at getting a Nobel Peace Prize, because that's what he wants. So therefore, that's all that matters in the world. He doesn't care if he jeopardizes 90 million Iranian lives, of which maybe some 60 million or 70 million do not want the government that they have. He doesn't care, because that doesn't interfere with his plan to get a Nobel Peace Prize in his mind. It might actually, but in his mind it doesn't. So he doesn't care. It doesn't, even appeasing his crackhead right-wing nuts, his cult, Kool-Aid drinking right-wing nuts, who hate the fact that America dropped the bomb overseas because they don't understand that wars are fought with foreign enemies. You look like Steve from a Minecraft movie. Okay, if you say so. I don't know what that means, but even appeasing his right-wing, extreme right, alt-right wing nuts, it doesn't actually matter to him as much as his own ego and his own interests. It doesn't. Yes, it matters to him, but not as much as his own self-interest. You got to get that through your head if you don't believe me. If you are a Kool-Aid drinker, or if you're not, if you are an extreme hater, if you have Trump derangement syndrome, as they call it, and you hate no matter what he does, you have to understand that about him. He's purely self-interested. He's not out to be your dictator. I really don't believe he is. He's out to do what's in his own self-interest. And what's in his own self-interest right now, he thinks, is to have this fake ceasefire and to have a fake peace agreement with Iran, which should still be a sworn enemy of the United States, even if they sign a peace agreement. They will not be a friend of the United States. They will backstab the United States. If you think you can trust the terrorists that run Iran and swear up and down that they want to destroy the United States every single day, endlessly, you're insane. So please don't fall for that claptrap, because it's just not true. There is no peace with Iran. They do not want peace with America. They want to destroy America. They want to genocide Americans. They want to Holocaust Americans that don't believe in their death cult, which basically means every American, except for maybe the far and few in between, who somehow, for some reason, are Iranians from the regime who live in America. There are some who left Iran and live in America and are part of the regime. There are some. They're not supposed to be there, but there are some. We're talking like a handful, yeah? Like you practically count them on one hand. And by the way, Iran, if they could get a bomb and drop a bomb in America to destroy it, they would have no compunction doing that, even if they have to kill hundreds of their own people who happen to be in America. They wouldn't care. If they could drop 1,000 bombs in America and destroy the United States, they would do it in a heartbeat. Wouldn't even bat an eyelash. Oh no, we killed a few thousand Shia Muslims who happen to believe in our death cult. They wouldn't care. They would just glorify them as martyrs, right? They would not care. So, blessing to you from Israel. Hey, thank you. Blessings to you, Alex. Blessings to everyone. Peace and love. So, that's what's happening. I wanted to mention that. This is really an absolutely horrible, catastrophic, apocalyptic disaster. And I say apocalyptic because that's what the Shiite regime wants. They want an apocalypse. They want the end of the world. You need to understand that if you don't understand this concept about them. They actually want the end of the world. Like, do you get it? They want every person to be dead. But they want to be the last ones to go, right? So then they can ascend to heaven and all the glory and all that stuff. They want the last Mehdi guy to come back and, destroy everything and send them all to heaven. That's what they want. That is what they seek. That's what they pray for. They pray for the end of the world. That's why they glorify death. And when you say, oh, they're just saying that. No, they're not just saying it, man. They're not just saying it. If you go to church, does the priest or the pastor or the reverend or the whatever minister tell you every single day, kill all the Jews, kill all the Muslims, glorify death, genocide all of our enemies, destroy all their countries, kill every infidel, kill every hypocrite? Do they say that every single day? No? Why do you think that is? Think about it. All right, that's going to do it for now, folks. I'll talk to you later. Peace. And I mean real peace. Love you all. See you guys in the next live stream or video.